Welcome to Sportswomen. This week, we're with a true sporting icon, the founder of the Women's Professional Tennis Tour and a tireless campaigner for equality, Billie Jean King. Her famous Battle of the Sexes match against Bobby Riggs 44 years ago is now the subject of a Hollywood movie. The former world #1, who won 39 Grand Slams during her career, tells us how the sport has evolved since then. But first, it was the ultimate Battle of the Sexes, which you may or may not remember. In 1973, the #1 female tennis player in the world, Billie Jean King, took on a former world men's champion, Bobby Riggs. She was 29, he was 55. Billie Jean King won in straight sets, a victory which is considered to be a pivotal moment in women's sport. Now, the subject of a Hollywood movie. King told us it was very different for females during that era. We'll look forward to it. Well, you can see the film when it's released in the UK on November the 24th. 1973 was also the year the WTA was founded. So how have things changed? Well, there were actually more tournaments back. Well, we also took the opportunity to ask King if she thinks another pioneer of women's tennis, Serena Williams, can return to the top after the birth of her first child. Football now, and if you fancy a career change, the FA are advertising on their website for a new England women's head coach following Mark Sampson's dismissal. In the job description, the FA say it's their goal to win the World Cup in 2023. Former England manager Hope Powell wants interim coach Mo Marley to take charge of the international team on a full-time basis. Former Everton boss Marley will oversee England's next 3 fixtures, and Powell says she deserves to be given the job permanently. Well, Powell was speaking at a Kick It Out event in Brighton, where she's now manager of the women's team. Having spent 4 years away from management after being sacked by the FA in 2013, Powell supports the plan to fully professionalise the top tier of the women's game, and she hopes Brighton can be a part of it. Dame Heather Rabatz has been announced as an ambassador for women in football. The organisation are celebrating their 10-year anniversary. Rabatz, who left the FA board in July, praised their achievements over the last decade. 4 representatives from the Football Association, including Chairman Greg Clark and Chief Executive Martin Glenn, will be quizzed by MPs next week following the allegations of racism made against former England boss Mark Sampson and the controversy surrounding his dismissal. Rabatz says it's important the FA are held to account. The Norway FA has agreed to pay its male and female players the same when representing their country. The money that the women's team receives will now double after the men's team agreed to redistribute money they currently get for commercial activities into the women's team. 3 British sides are hoping to progress to the last 16 of the Champions League this week. Chelsea beat Bayern Munich, but Glasgow City have it all to do. They suffered a 3-0 defeat to BIK Kazigurt in Kazakhstan following a gruelling 4,200-mile trip. You're watching Sportswomen. Australia have this morning named their squad for the upcoming Ashes series against England, and we can get reaction from someone who knows what it's like to win an Ashes in Australia, former England captain Charlotte Edwards. Welcome to the programme, Charlotte. First of all, you've looked at the Australian squad. Any surprises, and can you talk us through it?
Yeah, there's a couple.
That Australia have got a strong squad because England are #1 in the world now, aren't they? They've overtaken Australia.
They have, and I think that will...
What do you think then? Can they, or do you feel that England are favourites to take the Ashes?
I think England are favourites. I think they will have taken so much confidence from beating Australia in...
Because obviously there's lots of different formats.
Yeah, and I think it's how...
You've also mentioned Tammy Bowman previously as well. She's been nominated for the Sportswoman of the Year award. Again, no surprise there after the World Cup. And also Team of the Year too. Well, they spoke about suffering from anxiety and took a year out. The fact that she's come back so successfully, do you feel that's because she was given the time to deal with the issue? Well, the 2017 Sportswoman of the Year Awards are live on Sky Sports on October the 26th, and you can still have a say in who receives the Community Award on the night. There are 4 nominees. You can read all their stories and vote via the website. That's at sportswomanoftheyear.co.uk, and we went along to meet one of them. Now, good mental health is essential to be able to perform at an elite level in any sport, but many athletes suffer from depression at some point during their career. For World Mental Health Awareness Day, I spoke to Jane Nisbet, a successful Scottish high jumper who didn't fulfil her potential because of eating disorders. News in brief now, and Barbarians will field a women's team for the first time in a fixture against Munster on November the 10th. England World Cup winner Giselle Mather will coach the team. Bradford Bulls beat Featherstone Rovers to win the inaugural Women's Super League Grand Final. 10 of their players have been named in England's squad for the Rugby League World Cup in Australia. And England's Holly Clyburn carded a closing 4-under-66 to claim a share of 4th at the Ladies French Open. But it was American Christy Kerr who claimed a first European Tour victory with a 4-shot win. Well, that's all for this week's programme. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Just search for @SportswomenSky. And don't forget about our Facebook page as well. We'll be hearing from Charlotte Edwards on our Facebook Live next. We're back next Tuesday at 11:30 on Sky Sports News. Join us then.